Good afternoon. My name is Frank Errada, and I'm going to be going over the topic of a hotel service audit failure. Today, I'm going to be going over three of a well known hotel's failure in an audit, which would be the Marriott Hotel. And I'm going to be going over three different topics of things that regularly, of course, go through hotel audits that might come to a fail, and things that need of a better quality check. So, Marriott Hotel, a little background on that. Of course, they are known as an international hotel known all around the world, that really sets a standard for exceptional service and really creates a sense of an exceptional experience when using their services. They provide some of the best amenities and some of the best services that really any hotel can provide. And because of such, they have places all around the world, and even the ones, for instance, that might be located in the US are some of the most frequently visited from people that are flying in from around the world. It's a very tourist spot. People come here just to stay at the hotels. It's a very, very well known company, but I'll be using this one as kind of the basis of what I would like to be speaking about today. They also are very well known in providing some of the best customer service and using their skills to, of course, provide an exceptional service for guests and use the skills from their training to make sure that they all know and are aligned to stay ahead of knowing what a consumer might need. The three failed audits that I would be using today for an example would be a guests having a long waiting period up to an hour. This is very well commonly referenced from a lot of people when they have complaints on hotels and in their stays. In this situation, the guest was held up for close to 40 minutes to an hour in a waiting period time, and it created a big lapse in many other people having to then wait to be checked into their own rooms as well, creating a big sense of irresponsibility on the hotel and discrediting their exceptional guest quote unquote services that typically they have used for their brand. That also causes a false sense of hope and it tarnishes the reputation. The rooms that they were booked were not up to standard of where a guest would want to stay to live at for the next days or week or so that they have booked the room for. Um, in this instance, the room, once upon walking in, you could tell the linens were not changed, the bathrooms were not cleaned, and the rooms were just not inspected before being serviced. It's a room that was most likely unattended, and unfortunately, no one did a quality check on it. And the guest, upon arriving, already having to wait a very long time to check in, now is experiencing a situation that makes them feel uncomfortable to have to stay in their own room, which of course is an understandable situation and yet another thing that would lead to a fail in the audit. And lastly, it would be in increase time of times that employees possibly accidentally overbook the rooms. So, for instance, possibly someone who hasn't received the proper training, maybe in the newer position of being the front desk, accidentally overbooks multiple rooms by promising people that they have rooms available, but not checking the actual quantity of rooms that they have at dispose, and accidentally might promise a pair that they have a booking available, a room, and upon arriving, they let somebody else take over the room. That's a situation of not being aligned. That's a situation of not being trained properly, and that would cause a great impact on the business. So the impacts it would have on the business generally would of course be your reputation will start tanking. A lot of people will start talking badly of your business practices and make sure that people know that you're not a reputable establishment. Um, Guests are going to be very disappointed and they will take it out on your employees, especially if there's only one person in the front. They'll be bombarded with a lot of angry guests that, within reason, have a reason to be disappointed, but because of the lack of training and possibly the lack of alignment and communication with higher ups, then the employee also gets affected as well in turn. Possible and lost revenue. Most likely, they won't be returning to your establishment. They will leave a bad review about you or discredit your reputation to people that they would have otherwise recommended to stay at your hotel. And now it becomes a loss of revenue as well. And lastly, it would be a pushback on everybody else and their stay now that your room had to take longer. What could have been done to prevent this? Of course, is more extra training, higher quality training with the associates, and especially in the front desk, and being aligned more with the hotel managers, making sure that everybody is aligned and concentrated on the training that was provided to them, and of course, you know, having better training, higher quality training being provided as well. Also, having more employees at disposal when, especially their peak hours. If they know that they have about 20 people booking in at the same time, there should be the expectation of having more than just one person in the front to be able to tend to all the clients coming in. The corrections will affect us in, I feel, very positive ways in with our culture and financially. Our culture, of course, it'll give a sense of more responsibility and validation to the employees of receiving better training and higher quality training. And with financials, it'll give us more time to be able to talk about the perks and amenities that we provide as a hotel, and it'll allow them the better opportunity to reach the consumer this way and the guest. What I would recommend, of course, is hiring more staff, investing more in training, creating better systems for communication with the higher ups and the employees, and having someone as a designated room checker to make sure that quality control is under surveillance at all time. And the conclusion is just, of course, making sure that the guest's experience is the most memorable moment. You want to make sure that they have a memorable moment in your facilities, and they want to make sure that you're only providing the most exceptional service to the people staying at your hotel as well. Thank you.